Hey everyone, it's Yue from the Strictly Broken YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about, in the face of a lot of content in general from large name Vanguard YouTubers, that premium is such a exhilarating, fun, fantastic format. They really enjoy it and love it, and they're really selling a lot of people on the format and to play it. I want to make this video just to, give kind of like a PSA that though premium is a fantastic, incredible format that I even myself enjoy tremendously, it is definitely not a format for everyone, and a lot of people getting into it right now may be very disappointed, not fully knowing the context of what the format truly is about. I was looking through our order history earlier this week, and our order history completely just boomed in the direction of premium. Like, you'll typically expect, like, okay, there's X amount of Pokemon orders, X amount of Yu-Gi-Oh orders, X amount of Vanguard, X amount of Waystores. And Vanguard, we can typically know that the trend, for the past few years has always been, standard dominated, premium being an afterthought in terms of orders. And then this weekend, going into this week, the Vanguard orders were just completely dominated by specifically the premium collection suck up crits and the stride crits, and everyone was just ordering premium strides. I haven't seen premium get ordered this much since G era, honestly. Honestly, or like, I guess we do get booms of premium orders whenever the premium collections come out, but it was just, take my word for it, absolutely insane. And that shows me that the messaging that these large name Vanguard YouTubers are providing is really working. People are excited to play premium, and in some ways they've achieved their 3-year long goal of really pushing for the format, a format that a lot of people enjoy. It's very fun for a lot of people, that in some sense during the past 3 years had moments of being up and down in terms of popularity. Before I go into why maybe it's not the format for everyone, I do want to say, like, I play premium. I love premium. Premium is my Vanguard format to play, and there's a lot of amazing things about the format. Like, if you want to play a format that is deck diverse, strategy rich, and able to express your creativity in terms of deck building, in terms of research, like, that is definitely the format for you. A format that really brings out elements of individuality is something that a lot of people really enjoy, right? When I bring a deck to a tournament, if I have that tech, if I'm playing that one card that really gives me a little bit of an edge, premium definitely provides that for you. I can think of, like, many times in tournaments where something just so unique, like a freeze ray deck, or a deck that has an infinite combo, or a tech like Honolly or Bobo just completely warps your chances of doing well in that tournament. Like, premium is great for that kind of creativity. Premium is amazing for people who love diversity, love having just this vast card pool, and able to try a lot of different things in a lot of ways. Standard, at any given point, the best decks really limited your ability to play what was fun, what you found interesting. Like, if you were a fan of a certain clan and the meta just called for you to play Luard or Gauntlet Buster Dragon, not Gauntlet Buster, but yeah, Gauntlet Buster. There was a time when Narukami was just the Gauntlet Buster Dragon was just too much for a lot of decks to handle. It was really hard to play some other decks in the face of that. And premium doesn't have as much of a problem as that. It does have that at times. Keep in mind, like NLK format, the deck is a little bit oppressive. Or last year during Gold's Neo Nectar. But, like, for example, right now there's such a big deck diversity, and there have been moments where the deck diversity was very, very great. So premium is great for that kind of stuff. But this is not a video about why premium is great. This is a video about why it is almost ill-conceived, or not. The messaging that premium is incredible, that it is eternal, that going into this reboot and overdress and everything, that you should just jump ship and focus on premium from your V premium, your standard, is a bit misguided. You will probably not like premium if you do not have a lot of time on your hands. That's one big one. That's the first one. premium, to get the most out of premium, you do need to know what all your cards do, what all of your opponent's cards do, and how your cards interact. And to get that kind of knowledge, no one is smart enough to just have that knowledge, or like see cards for the first time and just have it. You need to spend time researching. You need to spend quite a bit of time play testing as well, just to get, you know, a context of how these cards interact, how these cards work, what cards exist. And for some people who treat Vanguard as a casual, for fun game with their friends that you play on a Friday night after work or on weekends, you can't have the time for premium. Honestly, like if you're gonna play premium casually, honestly, it's just, you're not gonna have a swell time. You might have a bit of fun in the short term when you get to play with these crazy new strides, these incredible rear guards that do crazy things. Like short term, cool, you get to do all these new exciting things that you didn't get to do before that are different. But in the long term, there's quite a bit of quite a bit of stuff going on that if you don't have spent a certain amount of time on regularly, it's just going to become super overwhelming as a format. The key word I used there was different. And a lot of people right now are going to be interested and fascinated by premium because it is different from right now. And they're really seeking something different when we're getting a lot of different things coming out soon with Overdress. But spending a certain amount of money to play this format that you can't invest your time and effort into, it's going to be not as enjoyable long term. I can guarantee you that. You'll have units in premium that interact in ways that it's even hard to visualize just looking at a deck list. And once you play, you get to realize, okay, so this unit will have to do this here, and it's great to put this unit as the rearguard attacker instead of in the back because of this. It's great to have this unit call out this unit for this. Like Standard has that as well, but in a lot of ways, Standard, the plays, once you see the cards, they were fed to you on a silver platter. Maka calls out Karen. You get to countercharge, you get to draw. It's very clear. And in premium, there's stuff like cards that will call out something, and there's just a huge variety of options. And it's definitely overwhelming without the playtesting. It's overwhelming without the knowledge of how your cards interact with each other. And it's overwhelming if you don't know that your opponent has something that can counter that line of play. I call back to G era where there was like, so in Shadow Paladin you would be able to stride into a stride called Drag Strider Luard. It has guard restricted. It has 4 drive checks, and I think it also had a crit. I actually don't remember. I haven't played Shadows in a while. They would call a booster. Back then, we would call a booster to that Drag Strider Luard, and that booster we can make it gain a bunch of power from calling a bunch of different units. And then when you go up against something like Gears, and they G-guard you, and then they spin that card into your deck, and you have to call something new, it feels like a card in premium is able to negate the entire effort that you put into like making your strategy happen. And without the knowledge that happens, it's really it's just really not fun. I gotta be honest. So yeah, the research thing is key here because there are literally strategies in premium that can counter strategies. And if you don't do the research for that and you go to like a local tournament or a friend makes that deck, you're just gonna get fucking slapped in the face by those kind of strategies. And it's not that fun, honestly. A second reason that premium may not be super fun for a certain individual who's trying it right now is that premium is actually much more complex than V premium / standard currently is. And that kind of complex decision making that happens in game really isn't for anyone. And this is not a dig to anyone. Like, just because you don't like something complex doesn't mean you're any dumber or less intelligent than other people, but that rather, like, you're playing a card game, and again, this goes back to enjoyment a little bit. You don't really want to commit that kind of like mental energy into a card game all the time, all of a sudden. And some people are just good at different things. And for premium, definitely, as the complexity of the game is higher, because of the card pool is higher, because of the card effects. Some card effects in premium are more dynamic, and written in the card is this like subtext that is like, this is for a combo. Much less so than in standard. You'll get it sometimes in standard, but in premium, like, you can read a card and it literally is like, wow, these effects clearly are made to do some kind of combo with other cards. And that kind of complexity is not for everyone. That 100%. I think back to playing Magic and thinking about Modern and looking at decks like Storm, decks like Clark Clan Ironworks. And those decks are huge turnoffs for people as people who try them out and facing them in tournaments. And premium has elements of that. And some people don't play modern because of decks like Storm and Clark Clan Ironworks, and they just much prefer to play something that's like on the like fair gameplay with just curve-like plays, very standard-esque kind of stuff. And if that's not what you like, then don't play. Like premium, you're not going to enjoy it at all. You're not going to enjoy the fact that your opponent is going to use an assassin from Dark Irregulars to, make a swing here and then do this and then do that, and then you suck the assassin up, but then recall it, and you can do stuff like that. And then when you play that kind of stuff and you then cannot replicate it because there's like complexities to these plays, and you're only doing like 2 attacks and not that many extra swings, like, and maybe your opponent's even like kind of a dick and makes fun of you that you didn't get to do like the full combo. That definitely happens in premium, and I would not recommend it if you're not looking for something more complex and more engaging in that sense. Thirdly, I do want to, and this stretches to the line of being just an opinion, but as a format to play with friends, premium isn't really, it's not a very suitable format for friends to play, if that makes sense. So there's this quote that I hear. The quote is, Tier 2 premium is some of the best Vanguard I've ever played. That is the quote. I think it was from Different Fight, and to an extent that is true, but unfortunately I think it just, like, I'm be real, there are some decks in premium that just by their very nature and just their existence is like a hard counter to another deck. And though Tier 2 premium can be fun when both decks are like play a very fair kind of Vanguard, the issue is that it will not always be the case that puzzle lines up with puzzle and friend A and friend B just end up both building fair decks. Someone will build, more likely than not, a deck that is just has something more unfair in it, and unfair games of premium are some of the least fun games you'll ever play. If you have a friend and you guys both decide to update your standard V premium decks into premium decks, and you are I don't know, what's a great example? You are a Great Nature player and your friend is a Link Joker player, and then your friend ends up building premium freeze ray, and you just have, Great Nature aggro. You're not going to have a lot of fun. I'll tell you that right now as the Great Nature player. It's not going to be fun at all. And you can't always just tell people, you got to make something fair and I got to make something fair. We're going to have fun. That's not fun in itself. And the fact that if you're trying to both, as a friend group, trying to upgrade your decks to go in like a certain direction to play premium, you're not going to, there's going to be that kind of conflict there. And when you go into tournaments now, if you're playing something like Freeze Ray, you might have actually a great time playing that kind of anti-meta style where you're denying your opponents even from making great big combos and stuff. But if you're playing with like a deck that is a tier 2 deck in the face of like a casual tournament, once tournaments roll around again, like, you will not enjoy it. You have to play apples to apples in premium. And then when your tier 2 deck faces tier 1 decks, you're going to get pub stomped super hard. And I feel like you wasted a lot of money buying premium. Premium cards are cheap, but they're not that cheap. And for a lot of people, actually spending $100, $200 on a deck is, actually quite, like, it's not just an afterthought. It's an active decision to invest that money into like your leisure and your fun. And if you're going to be doing that, just be aware. And that's what this video boils down to. All 3 of these points, I just want to be very clear with people that you're being promised the most fun format basically by a lot of these Vanguard YouTubers, and that is definitely the case if certain requirements are met. But I've, as a person who works in a card shop and sees this kind of stuff, seen a lot of people very quickly get burnt out by the nature of premium and the kind of decks and the kind of strategies and the type of gameplay that it entails. So order at your own risk. Don't let people promising you that premium is the greatest and the absolute best. That's what they think, but that's not necessarily what you think. And before you go and spend your money on playing premium, definitely think about, do I meet the criteria of fitting that kind of profile of a person who wants to play it? So that's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment in the video, give me suggestions on what other content you would like to see. Hopefully this video was helpful to some of you. And at the end of the day, if you want to buy premium, definitely, Strictly Broken TCG has a great selection of premium stuff on TCG Player. So check it out. That's a little bit of a plug, but yeah, stay safe everyone, and peace.